Hari Om and welcome to all the divine Atmajyotis to today's Bhagavadgita satsang. Today we have framed some very insightful questions on the shlokas 5.16 to 5.19. In just to quickly summarize, in 5.16, Sri Krishna says, "The ones whose ignorance is destroyed by divine knowledge, the supreme entity is revealed." Just like how sun reveals when it rises, everything in darkness, when sun rises, everything is revealed. So that's the picture that Sri Krishna is painting for us. And then he continues to say, those whose intellect is fixed in God, who are completely absorbed in God, with a firm faith in Him, such persons quickly reach the state from which there is no return. So there is something where there is a going back and forth, or going and coming, going and coming. But here, when they're established, he's talking about no return. Yeah. So and Shri Krishna is pointing to uh, the point of no return, and in that all the sins have been dispelled. And when somebody has such a someone is firmly established, we refer to them in different words, jnani, enlightened being. So here Sri Krishna is referring to that vidya vinaya sampanne. So such a person as vidya vinaya sampanne, they have equal vision towards a Brahmin, a cow, a elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. In fact, 5 items. Sorry, we were talking earlier as only 4 items. There are 5 items. And then the ones who are established, only when you get established. Now, in a way, he's saying um, the ones who get established, how they see, and he's saying that only when you learn how to see with equality of vision, like how the Jnani's example he has given in the previous sloka, then only you will be established. Then only you will be able to possess the flawless qualities of God. So, like that, Sri Krishna has given the indication here. So, based on that, we have framed these questions. Let us begin our contemplation now. Padmaji, would you like to begin today's contemplation?
Sir, I will prefer going by shloka rather than by the questions.
Sure, Ji.
So I'll take up the 16th one first.
Yeah.
So, jnanena tu tadajnanam yesham nashitamatmanah tesham aditya jnanam prakashayati tatparam. So, here Krishna is talking about ignorance and how ignorance can be removed. I will take a small example. First of all, ignorance can be removed only through jnana. Jnana of what? Jnana of who we truly are. Who are you really? Are you this body, this gender, this collective thing that is given a name by the society, or are you something else? Something else which is not this body, which is not all this collected information that gets destroyed. You are not that is the understanding, and is that is the jnana, that who we truly are we have to know. Who can give us such a jnana? A guru only can give such a jnana. Why guru? Because he is the one who has walked that path. He is someone who has lived that truth. He is living that truth. He has understood that truth and he is living that truth. So only he can dispel that darkness for us. Now, why is he talking about the sun? Because this ignorance is like is like you are entering a dark room with not even a speck of light in that room. So although your eyes are open, your senses are active, when you enter that room, you feel lost, you feel anxious. Some of us may even have a fear because we are not able to see what is truly there in that room, especially if it is a new place. you are not aware whether is there a table there, is there a chair there, is there a cupboard there. So in such a state, what is the feeling that you get? You are completely lost, you are bewildered, you don't know what to do there. If I move my hand, what will happen? If I move my leg, what will happen? Can I even take a step forward? This what we feel in that room is how we feel in this life when we walk through situations, because we don't know who we truly are. That light is missing, so we are acting according to however we want, whatever comes into our mind we do that, whether it is anger, whether it is anxiety, we function based on that. So there is no clarity because of this. However, what do you need to actually remove this darkness? Do you really need to do anything? No. When jnana comes, when you press that switch in that room for the light switch, the entire thing gets illuminated. Then you don't have to, there is no worry, there is no fear, there is no anxiety. Everything just disappears with that one pressing of that one switch. And who can press that switch for you? It is the Guru. Because that jnana, once you get that jnana, it is like that light switch. You don't have to do anything to remove that ignorance. The ignorance will automatically go off as soon as the light is switched off. So that is how the knowledge of the divine is. Who you truly are, when you understand, everything else just dispels. Doesn't mean that there is no problems or nothing in that room. It is not like that. But when you are able to see it in the light, you are able to know now where to walk, how to walk, what to avoid. All this brings a clarity. So this is what he is referring to in this shloka, is my understanding. I will move on to the 17th shloka now. Uh, 17th shloka is, those whose intellect is fixed in God, who are completely absorbed in God with firm faith in Him as the supreme goal. Such persons quickly reach the state from which there is no return, their sins having been dispelled by the light of knowledge. So, here, the supreme reality, or he is telling that when the intellect is fixed in God, I think in this only the questions of who is God. If I say that God is the supreme reality, where is that supreme reality? For most of us, because of the various conditionings we have received, he is someone who is external. He is someone who's present probably in the temple, or probably in a place called heaven. Describe that, oh, he is in heaven. Because there is no way of verifying it also. No, if you go to heaven to verify whether he's truly there, that is also a point of no return for you. So nobody will attempt that. However, when you have the true knowledge, what is the true knowledge? That you are him, you are that God. So the next question will come like, what does it mean when you say that your intellect is fixed in God, or you are completely absorbed in God? With a firm faith that he is your supreme goal. There is to such a person, there is no return. Return from what? All these questions are arising. So when I understand this shloka, the main thing that is coming here is the mind. The mind which comprises of all the four, which is the chitta, ahankara, buddhi, and the memory, the intellect, and the ego. So when we function, most of us, we function through this mind. We need this mind to interpret our senses and whatever is received to us, whatever is collected, when we access all those things, is how we make a understanding of what certain things are, and based on that we perform certain actions. But when this mind is fixed upon God, by that what do we mean, fixed upon God? That means we know who we truly are. When we know who we truly are, we can understand both. We can understand that there is duality also when we function. However, in that duality, there is also one commonality. So when you understand both these things, it helps you uh, transcend certain pitfalls that you might fall into. By that, what I mean, so say for example, when I sleep at night, there is no world for me. There is no husband, there is no home, there are no chores, there are no duties, there are no responsibilities. It is a time of completely withdrawing everything within me. So in that, during that night time, am I not there? I am still there, but there is a oneness, there is a tranquility, there is a peace that I cannot um, describe or maybe even attain in my waking state. It is very difficult for me to get to that state in the waking state. However, that is not the end state, but you can equate it to that peacefulness. You can equate that, it such a tranquility, because you are not aware of anything, you are not aware of your problems. There is no world for you in that state. So it is rather peaceful, because everything has toned down, you can say. The senses have come down, the interpretation by the mind has come down, the thought has come down. So there is a certain level of peace. How do I attain that peace in the waking state is what is the quest for all of us. Because the waking state is when all these things, actions, inaction, everything is going to be part of that waking state. So in that state, how do you function? That is the teaching that Krishna is giving to Arjuna and in turn to us. So that is the knowledge we require to function in this world of duality, and still understanding and established in the fact that I am not this duality. I am that one, I am one with that supreme God. And when I have that understanding, functioning in this duality is like a play to me. Like the Krishna Avatara, I think it is the best example of what all he went through. It is mostly so sad. I mean, when you see as a Krishna Avatara, it is a very big thing, Oh, some Rakshasa are coming, he is destroying everybody. But if you look, if you were Krishna and you were in that situation, you wouldn't be smiling like him. We would be ayo, from birth everybody is after my life. That is how your thought process will be. That is how you will not be fighting one bakasura. You will think, oh, today it is bakasura, tomorrow it is another asura. What will I do with all this? That is how you will be, and you will be bogged down. But he showed with perfect his own life, he showed that it is not the case. You, all these are fleeting. It will disappear, it will come, it will keep changing. Asura after asura coming in his life, we can also equate it to problems coming into our life, whom we think is are our asuras, right? So these things come and go. But the one that is always there is one person who has gone through all this. When the problem comes, it is huge. When it disappears, when we look back upon it, we think, oh, was what problem was it? Yeah, it was so easy. We have that feeling. So that is coming because of your understanding that I am not this duality, I am not this fleeting changes, I am not the one who is facing these situations. It is coming and going. As a mother, I will have 10 situation. As a wife, I'll have 10 situation. As a daughter or daughter-in-law, I might have different situations. I just deal with them as they come. And then tomorrow, the same situations will become my past. and there will be new situations. So it will make me steadfast, it will make me ready, it will strengthen me, it will give me courage when I know that I am this indestructible, I am this eternal soul. So that is what is the understanding that he is giving. This is my understanding of this shloka. I'll go on to the 18th shloka now,
Before we do
where
that,
he.
Patnaji,
Yes,
let's
sir.
see if let's see if anyone who has heard you so far has any questions to raise.
Sir, is it okay if I take it after 18th? I'm sorry.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, in the 18th question, the truly learned with the eyes of divine knowledge see with equal vision a Brahmin, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. So, for me, what helped me to understand this shloka is rather than seeing them as five different people or five different individual or five different bodies, I would like to see in this shloka what is same in all these five and the truly learned. What is the similarity? I think that is what is being referred to here. It is not about how a truly learned man should behave with a Brahmin, with a cow, with an elephant. Because obviously, even if a truly learned man has to feed all these five, he cannot feed a 100 kg banana to the Brahmin, and he cannot give the same thing to the dog eater. So it is not about how he is treating them. It is about the similarity between all the five of them, which the learned man is able to see, which I and you or any ignorant person will not be able to see. That is the most important point that is Sri Krishna is highlighting here, because the body may be different, the characteristics may be different, the quality may be different, how they function, what is their mental state, everything is different in all these five. But what is the commonality? The soul, the reality, the truth in each of them is the same, which the learned person is able to see. That is why there will be no judgment from him, like what you also shared, sir. There is no need for him to do anything. If a dog is barking, nobody will want, even you and I, if a dog is barking, can you really go and stop him? No. You have to perform some other action, like, I don't know, throwing a stone or something like that to stop a dog. Otherwise, mostly, people will ignore the barking of the dog. Similarly, an elephant, we use all of them, but beyond that, can we really change anything about anyone? One of the best ways I connect this this shloka also is, how does a truly Shilpaji's question was there, how does a truly learned man behave? I will take example of our dear Guruji itself. uh, I have not met him many times, but the few times that I have met, the wisdom that has come through him, I am sure I have gone with my problems, my personal problems, what all I face. I have discussed with him few things, and I have noticed that every time when such questions are raised, the his solution will not be how to tackle them. It will always be how I can tackle myself. What can I change? That is what he will say. He will never tell that, suppose you have a problem, you go and tell him that I have a problem with my colleague. He is not going to teach you how to change that colleague. He is not going to teach you how to change that situation. He is always going to tell you only how you can change to, so that that situation is not bothering you anymore. That is what I have observed. So here, why will I bother about how so if I see in all those sessions or that questions which I put to Guruji, there is one thing which has come across to me is his compassion, his love for me and his non-judgmental attitude towards me also. I have gone with a question that I have this problem, that problem. So he's also observing that you have come with the problem. But if I am talking about a colleague, I have judged him. I have interpreted something about him. He may not be that person, but it is my perception of that person which I am relating to Guruji. However, can we change that person? We cannot change that person. However, what can be changed? It is us. So that is what he will always point towards. Because you are the one who wants self realization. You are the one who wants to make change in your life. So, where is that change going to happen? It is only going to happen within you. So, rather than thinking, um, if I have only say, like Shilpa ji said, you have only one he has only one plate of food, I feel he will still distribute it equally between the normal person and the psycho, because hunger is same for everyone, no, whether it is a dog, whether it is anybody, because his vision will be like that. Everybody has to eat. He will not do anything about the psycho or about the learned person, is how I see it. Of course, please raise your questions and whatever doubts you have, but I feel that here the pointer is not towards the five different people. It is about what is this commonality, similarity between all of them, between all of us in this call also. Each one of us, although we are all human beings, I'm sure we have our own set of problems, our own set of qualities, and some qualities which we may want to change. However, there is one thing which is common in all of us, which is identifiable and which is same. It is the permanent one, it is the eternal one. And that, if we have to give a name, you can call it Krishna, you can call it supreme reality, you can call God, you can call Brahman, you can give it any name, but that is the commonality that we have to see, is what I think Sri Krishna is referring to. That is all, sir.
Very nice, Padmaji. Very well put. Are there questions based on what Padmaji has shared so far, and based on whatever questions you all had raised? Are there any questions, any clarifications that you seek?
For me, I have firstly, thanks, Padmaji. Still, some questions are still pondering in my mind. Just to call out one question, because you ended with that example. Thanks, Padmaji. See, when in Ramayana, Rama, Sita, Lakshmana will be in that forest, and when Rama starts killing the people who asuras who will be disturbing the sages in the forest. Sita tells him, "Why are you doing it? You have attained that enlightenment. You are not supposed to kill." Then he gives he responds saying that, "No, I am looking for a bigger cause." I think the same example I could relate. Vijayji also quoted in one of the earlier sessions. So considering that same essence from those instances, for that perverted guy, psycho guy, and the other noble guy, knowing that that perverted guy gets energy after eating, and he or she kills more people and destroys. So knowing that that enlightened person will still offer food to both of them, or I'm still not clear how I should read those read the mind of enlightened person.
Okay. So here two things I would like to bring. First is uh, the first point is, why would you want to read an enlightened mind, enlightened person's mind, is my first question. Okay. Second is, if you want to understand what a truly enlightened person is, then the question should be to them only, so that they can clarify it in a better way. Third is hunger. The same Bhagavad Gita, which is talking about all this, or I will not put Bhagavad Gita because I'm not sure of the shloka number. But in our Shastras, they say that Annadana is the only thing where you don't have to distinguish at all. Whether it is a rich, whether it is a poor, whether it is an animal or anyone, giving food is one thing where you can never go wrong. Like, for example, if you kind of donate money to somebody, charity in form of money, you'll have to think 2 3 times, because you have to know whether it is being put to proper use. You cannot just give money to anybody and say that I have done charity, because how that money is being used and what way it is used is always a matter of question, and it is also depending upon whoever is receiving. But as far as food is concerned, there is no such regulation, because it is the same. The hunger, the satisfaction of a person who is thirsty or hungry is not is the same all over, whatever is your status, whatever is your body form of the body you have. So that in that context I have answered that. So that is how I believe that the the enlightened being, how does it matter when you feed someone, do you think about after eating this he will get energy, what he will go and do with that energy, and then you will feed somebody? How can that even arise in one's mind when you are feeding somebody? When somebody say, I come to you today and say, oh, I come to your house, I say, Shilpaji, I am so hungry, is there anything to eat? Your quest will be only to give that, oh, see, this person has come to my house and asking something. What can I give to this person? What is the best thing I can offer to this person right now?
So Padmaji,
Isn't
I
the
think
same Ramayana?
sorry for
Sorry.
interrupting. Shilpaji's question is coming from slightly different viewpoint. See, in the situation that, let's for the time being keep aside an enlightened being. Let's simply talk about Sri Krishna is teaching you about who you are. And for the time being, let's say you have that clarity. I am not this body, I am not this mind. Let's not worry about whether you should be labeled as a jnani or enlightened being. Let's say you have that clarity. When you have that clarity, the question is very simple. When somebody comes in front of you, and when you know fully well that this particular person, the behavior of this person is to go and kill somebody. Her question, Shilpaji's question is, when you know very clearly what this person does next, would you still feed him? That is her question. So you are answering it from the viewpoint that you may not know whether that person is going to kill or not. Then it is a different thing. See, we have to learn to distinguish between the compassion is not necessarily same towards all the people. Meaning what? The compassion that one experiences in a satsanga is different, because the compassion there is all the seekers have come there to seek mukti from their ignorance. There is no judgment of what? Of their ignorant behavior. That does not mean that that particular individual will not go through their own karma phala. The behavior is whether you are, let's say, a killer, or whether you are a person who does puja. When you come to satsanga, that is the context in which both of them are treated equally. Both of them are given the same jnana, because both of them have the same possibility of attaining the liberation, which is the case that you can see with how Buddha dealt with Angulimala, or how Narada dealt with Valmiki, the thief Ratnakara. So many examples in our own satsangas. It is just a matter of, those stories are showing you certain very, what we call as starkly noticeable sinful behaviors, right? Even in that, because that particular guru noticed that there is a possibility of transformation, only in such a circumstance, such a behavior has been exhibited. Otherwise, like in the case of Duryodhana, though Sama was the first tactic that Sri Krishna used, it eventually ended as Bheda. He has to be removed because here is an example of a mind that is not a seeker's mind. Here is a mind that is not willing to transform itself. So, what Sri Krishna, through his own teaching and also behavior, is making very clear is when you act, know that who is in front of you is divine. However, understand when you're acting what is the characteristic. It's the same story that you have heard before. A guru is traveling through a forest and there is a snake, very venomous snake, and it is troubling everybody. And everybody is afraid of that snake, and people are cursing that snake. So when the guru is traveling, he teaches that snake about its own nature and how he should be not harming anybody, and how he should be really treating everybody with respect and equality. So now that snake is not even hissing. People start throwing stones at it. When the guru is traveling back, he notices that now the snake is all bruised, battered. And now he tells, I asked you to stop killing, but not hissing. Meaning what? Realize your true nature, realize the true nature of the existence, realize the true nature of everything else, but treat everything based on the quality also. So just because a dog is standing in front of you and that is also God, it doesn't mean that you will bring it and keep it in your God's room and you will treat it like that Vigraha. You will not do that. You treat it with love and respect. However, when that dog also becomes a mad dog, if need be, you may have to put it to death. So that is a distinction that Sri Krishna wants you and me to make. Here he is teaching you what is equal. You are correct. What is equal? What is equal amongst all of us? What is the common thing amongst all of us here? Whatever may be the label in terms of outer world, man, woman, that profession, this profession, that label, are, some of us having interacted with each other, oh, he's very intelligent, oh, she's very intelligent, or whatever may be those labels. But what is common? One very simple common thing that all of us feel is we all aspire to be respected and to give respect, isn't it? That is very common. We all love the feeling of being cared for. We all love the feeling of caring for one another. So, in other words, the feeling of love, the feeling of compassion is common. That doesn't mean that you love irrespective of the action. Meaning what? The display of love is not the same. It is still out of compassion only that the surgeon has to remove the whatever the tumor. It is still out of compassion for a larger entity, that other entity which is misbehaving has to be removed. Why that vision has come to Sri Krishna? Because fundamentally they are nothing but forms of energy. Whether it is Duryodhana or Arjuna or Bhishma or the tree, all are nothing but different forms of energy. Just because they are all forms of energy doesn't mean that you let everything function. Depending upon the situation, depending upon the food that you want to make, you add some, you remove some. So that distinction is what we need to make here. Is this bringing clarity? First of all, to Shilpa ji.
Vijay ji, you are my guru.
Can you state what is the clarity you got, ji?
So just to connect to the same example, yes, we have compassion by design to help everybody, to feed everybody on a common basis, and it is also, but it is also at the same time very important if we are aware about the actions which are going to get performed. So accordingly, we have to take a right call.
Correct. So the action, and that is why Sri Krishna first taught you and me how be detached from the fruits of the action. When Sri Krishna has to decide that there is no other alternative than the war, he took that call with the same inner non-turbulent mind. He is non-turbulent when he was negotiating. He was non-turbulent when he had to decide to go to the war. He was non-turbulent when those various kinds of murdering and killing was happening in the battlefield. He was non-turbulent when Gandhari came and cursed him. So non-turbulence is because he has that equality of vision. He has established in himself that I am not this something that gets destroyed. The curse is for this body. This body will go through its own actions and the phalas of the action. But I, the indweller, for me, this is not attaching. Like how Padmaji started by saying, there are so many situations that you and I go through. But in all these situations, has it ever occurred to you that your feeling of love, though it may change based on somebody's action, maybe if somebody comes and slaps you and then says, love me, you may not feel like expressing love. But if you notice a little deeply, your love, the feeling that I can love, has not actually vanished. Please notice, maybe on that object, on that particular form, you may not love. If the person who has slapped you, you may not love. But if somebody else comes and says, Yakama, enaitu, why are you sad? You will still feel like loving that other, isn't it? So, which means that something called as love has not actually vanished from within you. That seems to be permanently there all through all these situations of life. So what we need to recognize is that I am that very source of love. I am that very source of compassion. I am that very source of kindness. And I can offer it to whoever is in front of me. But while offering, I am also very well aware what their current mind is, what their current tendencies are. While I inherently see the divine, I don't act in the same way. Just like how if poison is in front of me and if I have to feed 10 people, I will not feed poison just because that poison is also God. I will not feed that poison to 10 people. I will remove that poison. A simple example, cucumber. There is bitterness at the end of it. Just because all parts of cucumber is God, all parts of cucumber is divine, you and I will not feed all parts of cucumber. We remove that bitterness. Why? Because that is how the taste bud works for these people. Whereas that bitter cucumber that you've removed, that is still food for some other organisms. Some other organism whose design is not to get harmed by that bitterness, that will consume that. So like that, there is nothing that is going to really go waste as such. But you and I really need to establish that what needs to be done, that is different from what is the reality. So Padmaji, is this bringing clarity, Ji?
Yes, sir. My answer only was related to food. However, I've already clarified that when even after you understand your true nature, there is a world in which you have to function where there is duality. So there, of course, you have to take action regarding whatever role you are in and what situation is coming in front of that role. You need to take the relevant actions there.
However, when contemplating, when we have to answer on behalf of someone, what will this person do? That one puts us in a state of confusion. What that person does, as an example, through the action of Krishna, when he encouraged Dharmaraya to lie, okay, when he had to kill Dronacharya, right? So he encouraged Dharmaraya to lie. So now you and I need to learn the fine art of why he encouraged like that. Otherwise, what may happen is, okay, he always encourages others to lie. That is one common denomination we may take. Or, no, he's always compassionate. See, he's always treating everyone, he hugs everybody. So, like that, both are extreme positions, which in the world where we need to function, cannot happen. Modi had to bomb, he had to bomb. He will bomb. Why? Because that is the right action to take in that moment. Though what he's bombing is also divine. The bomb itself is a divine. So knowing fully well, one has to function in life. So that depends on the role you are taken in a particular context. In that role, if you're a mother, and if you see that your child is misbehaving and is not willing to listen, you may even have to take the tactic of hitting the child. So like that, role, the responsibility of the role is one aspect, that is the action aspect. But how are you within yourself? And playing that role, are you clear that I'm playing the role of a mother and this is the role expectation and I will perform this role expectation? But I, the one in whose presence this role is being performed, I am not the role. I am not the role gives you the clarity to be undisturbed. The peace is undisturbed. However, I am playing this role. During the role play, you have to play the role according to the circumstance, according to the situation. And that situation is impermanent. That distinction has to be there. Anything more you would like to add, Padmaji?
Sure. That is why I also mentioned in that question, like what a truly learned person does is not a right question for at least me to address, because I am not yet
No,
realized. So
no,
that question would be,
in that way
yeah,
you answered, Padmaji.
yeah,
There is a, am I learned? Am I not learned? Am I that gnani or am I not that gnani? Is one dilemma, and you're answering on behalf of another person. Now there is no way anyone can ever answer on behalf of another person.
yes. That's what I said, sir. That question is rightly put only to probably Guruji, because he is one learned person that I know of. That is what I start. That is why
So
I
now
started that question.
why is the feeling that you are not that learned person?
Mm, that is something
See,
I have to contemplate.
that is the fundamental question that is here to be resolved. See, we in a it is like sometimes humility. Humility. What is humility? Very humble. What is humble? Humble is they never talk about themselves very highly. That is not humility. Humility is, in that given situation, you are not get possessed by the ego consciousness of who you think you are in that particular given situation. However, in that given situation, you play to the best of that role. So therefore, when you have the clarity of a particular question, let's say somebody comes to you and says, can you give me clarity about what this object is, how to use this object? If you have the clarity, in that particular situation, you have the clarity, as simple as that. Now it is up to the person to put a label on you. Now, who's putting the label on Guruji that, Guruji is Jnani? You are putting that label. He has
Yes.
never asked to put that label on himself. It is people who interact with him, they come and put that label. And some people who have interacted with him have put the label that, oh, he's a madman. Oh, he cannot be trusted. Now, both the labels are there. The important thing to notice is he is undisturbed by the labels that people are putting on him. So therefore, the discussion here is in the context of you as the one who is expressing your viewpoint. And while using that somebody that you have observed and how they have behaved is appropriate, very appropriate to refer. But to say whether you are that person, you are not that person. Nobody can ever be another person.
Right.
But do you have the clarity of that? What is the clarity that you have seen? What is the clarity you have seen?
That
What is the
he's
clarity of
not,
the
he's
action you have seen?
undisturbed. He is
Ah,
undisturbed.
Can
And
you
he
be
has a
undisturbed?
love and compassion before he says anything to you. The
Can
way
you be
he says
undisturbed?
anything to you will be different, even if it is you're not on the right path.
Exactly, right? Can you be undisturbed?
Yes.
Can you also have the same love and compassion?
Yes.
Your children in your Gita group may be feeling, my Padma ma'am is so loving and kind. Love means Padma amma. For them, you are that love embodied. So, therefore, it is irrelevant. It is irrelevant what Prabhuji is. As far as you are concerned, what is the most important qualities that I have noticed in Prabhuji that I can imbibe, that I can display? So when you are displaying those qualities, then in a way I can say that, for example, if somebody is very thirsty and somebody goes and offers water, don't we say, you are there, Tara. If you are in great pain, maybe it's emotional pain or physical pain, and somebody comes and gives you some suggestion or does something, and that pain is removed, don't you feel like saying, oh, you are like God? So, means what? That quality has come out from within you in that moment. That doesn't mean you are that God that they may think. That is up to them. Which God, whose God, what is the nature of God is for them to resolve within themselves. But do you have the qualities? You certainly have the qualities. So therefore, when you are providing the viewpoint, whose viewpoint are you providing? Only your viewpoint. Whatever clarity you have got. In any given situation, what he does, what he doesn't do, nobody knows. So, especially when we are contemplating on Bhagavad Gita, why there is Jnani as an example constantly brought in front of us, so that Krishna wants you and me to compare. Okay, Jnani is undisturbed. What makes him undisturbed is what Sri Krishna wants you and me to imbibe. Not that he is like that, I am like this. Yeah, he's like that, I am like this. But what makes him like that? That is the most important quality he wants you and me to exhibit. So, like how we say here, bring out the Krishna from within you. Our very messages, the Krishna is within you. Prabhuji is within you. Not that you will grow the mustache of Prabhuji, but those qualities are within you. So that recognition, and it is not a lack of humility when if someone claims, oh, I am Prabhuji, I am like Prabhuji. It is not it is not a lack of humility. It is not that, oh, you know what, he's such a Sadguru, so many people are following. You need to understand the context in which that is being said, no? So therefore, we need to bring the distinction. Is this bringing clarity, Padmaji?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is there any other point that Smitaji wants to bring up to the discussion?
They're very clear and well explained. Only my one question, which I still there in the why specific references to that. Shri Krishna could have said that the learned person will see everyone as with equal vision.
Correct. So it is just like how we are discussing now, Smitaji. So when we have a concrete thing in front of us, it brings a concrete reference to the mind,
Exactly.
and it helps us to understand the distinctions clearly.
Only from that perspective. Okay.
See, a Brahmin is the most pious. A Brahmin, again, not by the birth, but by the virtue of the characteristics,
Virtue.
is the most pious.
To the dog eater who is considered the least pious.
Right, least pious, because look at his nature. No, why is dog eating? Because among different animals that humans associated with, dog is the animal that seems to be the one that blindly trusts the owner, right? If you have to give a name to Vishwasa, to trust, in everybody's mind, dog comes. Dog is the animal for Vishwasa, trust. So a animal that trusts you blindly, that loves you, please notice that dog follows the owner. Who is the owner? The one who gives them some food and who is there with the dog. And it doesn't matter what the owner does. The owner may be a killer. The owner may be a farmer. The owner may be a gardener. The owner may be military man. Whatever the owner is, the dog is equally loyal to the owner. So therefore, in our societal way of looking at it, Vishwasa, trust. Who is the epitome of trust? A dog. ನಾಯಿ ತರ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ. ನಾನು ನಾಯಿ ತರ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ. That is how we speak in our society, right? Means what? It's a very loyal animal. And if someone is willing to kill that, means what? Something that is so trustworthy towards you, a dog eater is not able to see even that and is willing to kill that. Now, for a moment, Smitaji, imagine someone who has to go and murder that dog so that they can cook and eat that food. And imagine that dog has always been following that owner. That very imagination disturbs most of us here. But now imagine someone who feels that even that person has the ability to transform, has the potential to transform. That is Buddha. When everybody said Angulimala is a killer, Buddha saw the potential, the divine spark. The divine spark is in everyone. However, it depends upon the circumstances, on the situation, on various other factors, whether the divine spark actually is ignited, is there. The potential is there. Everyone is divine. However, like how Buddha was asked, after your enlightenment, how do you see the world? Oh, it's an enlightened world. But don't you see all this murder, all this theft, all this unfortunate things happening? How do you call everyone as Buddha? I can see you have awakened. I can see that peace and that calmness and that love and compassion flowing through you. You are Buddha, correct? You are Buddha. But how? How that murderer is a Buddha? And Buddha's answer is, I am awakened, direct to awaken.
That's the only difference.
So that's the viewpoint of Buddha. He knows that actually in reality there is no separation between me and you. That is why he is able to be so compassionate. There is truly no difference between you and me. You and me are one. However, in the phenomenal world, in the world that you and I see, in the world where you and I interact, to interact means what? There has to be a separation. To recognize that separation is temporary is what enlightenment is. To love means what, Smitaji? When you say you love your child, means what? Especially as a mother, at the time of birth, you were willing to give away your life to that other new being. Everyone knows, every mother knows that childbirth is a moment when this mother may herself have to give up her life. But still one is willing to go through that. What is that enables you to go through that? When your child comes running and says, Amma, I'm hungry. Let's say the mother has made some food and end of the day is very tired, is about to sit and eat one last dosa. And the mother comes, Amma, Amma, your dosa was amazing. Do you have the dosa? Mother would give away. What is that power that lets you do that? What is that is within you that makes you do that? You may give any label to that. But fundamentally, there is something that is actually knows that it's okay. Even if I don't eat, it's okay. If I give also, it's okay. I'm okay. And that other one is part of me. That feeling is deep. That other one who's part of me, in this case, may have happened because of what I think as biological connection. Oh, it came through my stomach. Not necessarily. It's the same divine connection that is there with everyone else. I
Very
have
true.
to just open my eyes to see that.
Very true.
You and I extend that to a certain extent in some cases. See, that dog, which was, let's say, in some dog home, when we first time we bring, you may not have that same connection. But after that, after a few days, it becomes part of your family. You say, my family consists of these two children and this dog. All of this is my family. So, in a way, what is your family is a fungible idea. You have simply drawn a artificial boundary about this is my family. So, a awakened one, a Buddha sees that this is fungible. I have simply artificially drawn the boundary. I have the capacity to love everyone. I have that capacity because love is something that doesn't diminish by loving only one thing. See, please notice. Is it possible to love all your children? Yes. Is it possible to love your neighbor's children? Yes. Is it possible to love all the children in your street? Yes. In the world? Yes. So, as you are saying yes to it, as I'm asking these questions, you may be also saying in your mind, you don't feel, oh, something is reducing in me. Actually, something seems to be expanding in you. Something seems to be feeling bigger and bigger in you. And that bigger doesn't seem to stop. As I started asking, can you love this, this? You can. That is who you truly are. The one who has the capacity. Whether you bring that out is up to you. Do you have the potential? Absolutely.
Very nice. The true, I mean, how our forefathers or how it is established that Vasudeva Kutumbam is so with so much deep thought that it is. Yes.
Wonderful.
Very, very nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Ji.
Thank you, Padmaji, also. I really like that example of where you said change in me rather than changing the situation or changing the other person. No? Can only think of what I can change in me. Very, very, very good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Krishna Ji, Anisha Ji, anything else that you would like to bring up?
No, it was good. Yeah.
Anisha Ji, you have something to say? Sorry, I asked both of you at the same time. Anisha Ji?
Nothing.
Krishna Ji, you are saying something.
No, Ajay ji, it was good. Like, I have no questions.
Okay. Padma Amma?
ಏನು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಆದರೆ ಹೇಳು ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ.
ಖಂಡಿತ ಅಮ್ಮ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು.
16 ಹೀಗೆ ನಾನು ಆತ್ಮ ಅನ್ನೋದು ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಸೂರ್ಯಂಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ನಾನು ಆತ್ಮ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಹೇಗೆ ಸೂರ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಮೋಡ ಮುಸುಕಿದಾಗ ಅದರ ಪ್ರಭೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಇಗ್ನೊರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದಿರಲ್ಲ, ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮರೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಆತ್ಮನನ್ನ. ಅದು ಮೊದಲೇ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದೇ. ಆ ಅಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಗುರುಗಳು ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಪದ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ತಿಕ್ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಹಾಗೆ ಅದು ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದೇ. ಅದನ್ನು ತೆಗ್ದಾಗ ಅದು ಬೆಳಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಒಂದು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು. ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದನೋ ಬರುವಂತಹದ್ದಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ನಾವು ಅಪರೋಕ್ಷವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಅನುಭೂತಿಯನ್ನ ಪಡಿಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದೇ. ಡಾಗ್ ಈಟರ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣ ಆಗಲಿ, ಯಾರೇ ಆಗಲಿ, ಅವನು ಆತ್ಮಸ್ವರೂಪಿಯೇ. ಆದರೆ ಗುಣಗಳಿಂದ ಅವನು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆಯಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಆ ಗುಣಗಳ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಭಾವದಿಂದ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಗ್ನೊರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ಗುಣಗಳನ್ನು ದಾಟ್ತಾ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದು ನಾನು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪಿ, ನಾನು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನೇ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಥಿತನೇ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ.
ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್ ಅಮ್ಮ, ಧನ್ಯವಾದ. ರಜಿತಾಜಿ, ನೀವೇನಾರು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಸೇ ಆರ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್?
Takeaway for me, according to today's talk, is we should not feel inferior that I don't know, I am not a truly learned. So there is so that feeling should not be in me. When you have that kind of feeling, it means that I have to follow the person who are established in that, who are Atmajnanis or whatever we call it as self-realized persons. So by by nature, because of the combinations of the gunas, sattva, rajas, tamo, and we are what we are today. I am what I am. I am this Rajita. But why I feel inferior is that because of the clouds, as Padma Amma said, ಆ ಮೋಡಗಳು ಕವಿದಾಗ ನನಗೆ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನನಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಕತ್ತಲೆ ಕೋಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ರೂಮ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ there in the room. So I feel anxiety, I feel fear, and I feel that I am suffering, and I feel that I am separate. So there is someone who is aware of all the things. So I feel that inferior to myself. So when the light is on, when the pratyak jyoti, the jnana jyoti is when I realize that I am that light, then I stop. I see the world clearly, and then the differentiation will not be there, because I am everything. Jiva, Jagat, and Ishvara are in me. I realize that. So from in day-to-day life, I need not feel inferior that I am separate from a guru. A guru is a person who is truly learned, and I am not. I am inferior. I am always the suffering person. I have so many attachments. I'll not be able to reach that state. All those feelings should not be there, because if you don't have the hope that you will also become, or you are already self-realized person. So we have come here to get established in that the state. That is what is in this sloka he is calling as states of mind. So how do a gnani established, that is what is explained here in these slokas. So Bhagavad Gita explains us to realize our true nature. So takeaway for me is that I need not feel inferior, that I am not a truly learned person, and I am not a self-realized person. Just that I am covered by the clouds of ignorance, so I'm not able to recognize my state. So when the light of knowledge, like light of the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, when I try to attend, hear Shravana, Manana, Nidhidhyasa happens continuously until I get the clarity, until the light awakens, and until I realize that I am that true self. So until then, I have to do the Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. So that is the takeaway for me. So I need not feel inferior that I am still learning. I don't understand these high level concepts, or I can't reach to that state of self-realization. If I feel that, then I may not even attempt to learn this and get established in this jnana. So that is what is the takeaway, Vijayji.
Excellent. Neither inferior nor superior.
Yes, superior.
Yeah. Both inferior, superior is by comparison.
Yes.
Very nice.
So just how do I measure that? For that Bhagavad Gita itself, the lakshanas, a person who is self-realized, he is fixed in his intellect. He is not wavering. He doesn't have any difficulty in taking decisions. He has the clarity. So all those characteristics they have given. So moment to moment, I have to check myself whether I am equanimity in all the situations, whether I am able to take the decisions properly without any biasing. So all these things I can check myself. Then if I'm not able to take, then I have to decide that I need some more Shravana to establish in that state. So it is just like a benchmark Krishna has given. So if you are not up to that mark, then do Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa, and you can do it. And because there are so many persons, so many jnanis, examples who are in Grihastha and who have realized their lives. So we have Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramana Maharshi, Swami Vivekananda. So we have to take the inspiration from them, and the scriptures also inspire us. Take the inspiration from the scriptures and do our sadhana until I realize that I am one with divine.
Excellent. So just to give a viewpoint from in our software world, right, there is something called a testing. We want to verify whether a particular software is working according to what it is intended to work for. We call it as testing. So for
Yes.
example, if I click a button, it should show some message. We verify. Is it showing that message or not whenever I click? This is called as testing. So one of the way of looking at Bhagavad Gita is Sri Krishna has only given you test cases. He is telling Arjuna, this is the end state when someone is undisturbed, come whatever may be the situation in life. So all through Bhagavad Gita, he is continuously giving you those test cases by giving you the example of a jnani. A jnani, what he does, what he eats, what he says, how he is. All of these are gold standards for you and me to constantly verify against. And wherever, like how wonderfully Rajita ji put, moment to moment. It is not that you are not that. It is not that one day you will become that. No, there is no one day when you will become that. There is no one day. It is now. In this situation, in this very situation, is that opportunity. Because every moment is an opportunity. So that is what is getting established. Clarity is already given. You are already that. If you're already that, then why am I not feeling that? That is because moment to moment I have to constantly assert myself. Sadguru or Bhagavad Gita or any realized master is not saying one day you will become that. One day you will reach that place. That is not what is being said by our scriptures. That is not what Sadguru is saying. That is not what Prabhuji is saying. Bhagavad Gita, Prabhuji, Sadguru, all the great masters are saying, you are that divine. Tat Tvamasi. And in that, there is no conditional statement. One day you will be that. No. It is you are that. Means what? Now also. If now also, then why am I not feeling that way? That is the only thing that I need to remove. So to remove that is Bhagavad Gita. All gold standards have been given to assert myself moment to moment to moment. Very nicely put, Rajita ji.
And very well connected, Vijay ji, to the software and test cases. Thank you.
Yeah.
So testing has to be done moment to moment from
Yes.
us, from me.
Yes. All right. So if there are no other questions or points to discuss, let us end our today's contemplation here. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu.